good morning, or whatever part of the day you're joining us from. I'm Jeanette Woodburn, a Senior Marketing Operations Manager here at Iterable. I actually get to run Iterable at Iterable, which means I get the joy of using our product every day. So Iterable is an AI-powered customer communication platform. We help brands create personalized experiences that connect with people in real time, wherever they may be. From our platform, you can manage every key touch point, whether that's email, SMS, WhatsApp, and so many more, turning those messages into intelligent customer journeys. We're honored that brands like Bolt, Fabletics, SeatGeek, and Box trust our platform to build deeper relationships and drive meaningful growth with their customers. So welcome to Iterable's live product tour. This is a chance for you to see our product in action and ask product questions directly of our experts. We're running these monthly with a rotating cast of experts and different focus areas from deliverability to SMS to WhatsApp and more. And today we get to dig into what I consider one of my favorite parts of our product, journeys. We'll be doing that in the capable hands of Peter Oleson, who is a senior solutions consultant here at Iterable. Now, I have to say, I love working with our SCs here at Iterable. It's such a brilliant group of folks. Peter was even offering to help us out with some handlebars questions that we had about our own instance. And they really just know how to strategically apply our product's capabilities to whatever you're trying to do, making them great partners in your sales process and beyond. Peter himself has been with us for nearly 5 years and has also served as an implementation consultant. So I think it's safe to say he knows Iterable backwards and forwards. Before I bring him through, just a couple of housekeeping items. So this is taking place today on Zettle and YouTube. We'll also be sharing it later on LinkedIn. So if you're not a subscriber or following us, please do so. That way you can see when we share new content and join us when we do live events like this. We are recording today as well. So if you feel like taking a glance through our archive of previous events, there's some great content there as well. If you have questions throughout the session, please go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll be keeping an eye out. And then after the live product tour is done, we'll have Peter take a chance at answering them. So with that, Peter, come on through.
Thanks, Jeanette. Hi, everyone.
Welcome. Well, let's get you set up and then get you going.
All right. Thanks, Jeanette. And hi, everyone. Welcome to our live product demo surrounding designing real-time journeys with Iterable. Today, we're going to dive into how Iterable helps brands like yours orchestrate truly personal and connected moments with their customers. We're moving beyond blast campaigns and old linear journeys to a world where every single interaction feels timely and relevant. And as a bonus, it's really easy to build and drive continuous improvement inside of Iterable. So we'll show some of that as well. I'm going to share my screen here and we'll get started. But I want to take a step back. How are we thinking about journeys? I like to think of journeys like a personalized GPS for your customers. I'm old enough to remember the old MapQuest days where you would print out a sheet of paper and the directions never changed. But the reality is that along your road, new things come to light, like traffic or accidents. You know, in our modern era, our GPS updates accounting for that. And Iterable journeys are exactly the same. So instead of a standard map that gives everyone the same experience, Iterable's journeys guide each customer individually based upon where they are, what they've done, and what happens and what they do while they're in the journey. On top of that, we're able to make sure that they're connected with the channel that they actually need to receive the message on. All of this is built in a visual drag and drop tool that you're seeing right now, where you can map out these personalized paths. So let's take a look and orient you to the journey canvas that we're seeing here. So up top, you'll notice that every single journey starts with a start tile. Makes sense, right? But it's worth noting that there's a ton of flexibility in terms of how you're triggering each and every journey. Is it an event occurring, which would be a more real-time journey? Or do we want to attach a list that we've created inside of Iterable and schedule this journey, either for a one-time journey or a recurring campaign? Of course, for the more technical folks in the call, we do have just a standard API call. So we'll go through all of the different flexible start tiles today. You can also see we have some air traffic control here, looking at how many times someone can enter a journey and whether or not they can simultaneously enter. If we move out of our start tile, you'll see that we have a full omni-channel experience here with our messages. Everything from traditional channels like email, push, and SMS to more modern channels like embedded messaging and WhatsApp. On top of that, we have AI built throughout the tool for things like channel optimization, which leverages the power of AI to determine what's the best channel to reach out to this individual user on in that given moment. We have more orchestration here with delays and filter and flows, but we go beyond simple time delays to things like hold and tell tiles, which, like I mentioned in that traffic example, allows you to take into account what's happening in real time and update a user's journey. Capping it all off here, you can see that we have our Journey Assist, which is a really helpful tool that helps make sure that you're not starting with a blank page. You can actually enter a prompt, and this will automatically surface the tiles as a starting point with which you can build out that fully unique experience. Keep them like I just did, or iterate on what you have just done to make sure that it's perfectly suited for your organization. So again, journeys, it's moving from these static campaigns into living dynamic customer experiences. And I want to go through 4 use cases today. We're going to have an onboarding moment, a celebration moment, an engagement moment, and a re-engagement moment. And I've pre-built some journeys here so that you can get a feel for how these look when they're built out. We're going to start with our welcome moment, our onboarding moment. This is when someone newly creates an account, and you can see here that we're using a custom event here to get started. The beauty of something like a custom event is that it doesn't require you to bring back in engineering when you want to retire this journey and stand up a new one, or if you want to iterate on this journey. So let's take a look through this onboarding journey. We're starting with an account created. If we open up this start tile, you can see this is a welcome journey. So we only want our users to enter through this journey one time. And if they somehow qualify for it again, we actually don't want to send them this repetitive content. But importantly, we have some multiple journeys logic here as well. We want to make sure that no matter where this user is in their experience, because this is our most important onboarding flow, we're not preventing them from entering if they are in a different journey. And it's super simple to drag over our email tiles. And you'll notice that in real time, we're looking against a user profile. That's a common theme throughout Iterable, is that anytime that you want to look at real-time data, you have that access without taking additional steps. So here, we're looking to see, has this user downloaded the Iterable app? And by the way, all of the examples today is using Iterable's fictitious fitness brand, Iterable, pardon the pun, as our examples. So here we're checking to see, have they downloaded that app? And if they haven't, we want to make sure that we surface those App Store and Google Play Store logos in order to allow them to download that. We'll take a really quick time delay here for 2 days, and you can see that there's one user that's already inside of our journey here. Then we're going to check again to see, has the user downloaded the app? If they have, great, let's take a more active channel like mobile push and send them a message there. If they haven't, we'll send another email to encourage them to sign up for that app once again. If I pull in to edit the journey, I want to show you one other thing that we're doing here, which is for Iterable, there's 2 main things that we're trying to get users to do when they onboard to the program. The first is we're trying to ensure that they make a purchase. That could be in store, online, it could be fitness equipment, or it could be things like a post-workout smoothie. But we're going to check to see, have they made a purchase and have they downloaded the app? Because those are the 2 things that matter most to us. Once they have done both of those things, we can remove them from the journey, because we've accomplished our goal here. Again, all of this is real time and it's taking into account with a real ease of use for your marketing team what has happened since they entered the journey and what should we do next based upon that information. Okay, so that's our onboarding moment. The next moment we want to look at is that celebration moment. Everyone has a birthday, and Iterable wants to make sure that we're celebrating those moments inside of all of the subscribers and customers' lives. In this case, we're taking a different approach to our start tile. We're going to store all of that birthday information on the profile, and we're going to create a dynamic list that takes a look at who has a birthday 7 days from today. And so we have our birthday segmentation, and this repeats daily so that every single day we're capturing those that next cohort of users that has a birthday in 7 days. This is where we're going to start to get into channel optimization. Like I mentioned, channel optimization takes a look at all of the engagement that each individual user has on their profile. And it says, in this case, I'm either going to send a push notification or an email, but not both, to this individual user. As an added benefit, if we're unable to determine the channel, the marketer has the power to put the guardrails in place to determine what is it that I want to prioritize. In this case, we're prioritizing push over email. Now, I can hear a common question that might come up, which is, well, what if I'm unsubscribed from push? No need to worry, because channel optimization also automatically takes into account the channels that a user is subscribed to and unsubscribed from. Down here, we have a 2-day delay after that. I also want to note a real powerful aspect of Iterable is that it's easy to update and edit journeys. So we had a live journey, but now we're in a draft. So if I want to add a follow-up 2 days later, it's as simple as a copy and paste on your keyboard, connect up that tile, then we can save the draft. Oh, it's going to tell us automatically that we didn't fully configure this journey. So we'll add in a couple of messages here. So email and in this case, push we were looking at, we're going to update this. Now we can really simply choose our template. And if we look in our campaign content here, we can pull in some new content. And then we'll also add in a push here. We're just going to create this from scratch here by editing. We can come in and say, hooray, it's your birthday. Have a complimentary smoothie on us. Oops, there's a little error there. Live demos, that's the fun. All right, once we're done and we've updated this campaign, we can actually go ahead and publish this journey. Now, the beauty is that even if someone was stuck in this 2-day delay, they'll actually receive the next messages that I just added. This is a big contrast from a lot of more legacy platforms where there's rigid versioning control and you have to conclude on the experience that you entered when there are updates. Iterable makes it super easy to do live updates on the fly. So that was our celebration moment. Super easy to configure, a surprise and delight personalization that's always on and running every day. Let's move on to our engagement moment. In this case, we're looking at an abandoned cart journey here. So we have a shopping cart update. We're entering this based upon that event of someone's added to that products to their cart. You've sent that information into Iterable. Then we want to make sure that we have a delay. In this case, we're doing 1 day. And then we're using, again, channel optimization in this instance to make sure that people don't forget to check out with the gear that they've added to their cart. We're using a slightly different time delay here, a 1-day time delay, but we're extending it to 9 a.m. And the reason why we're doing that is because you could add products to your cart at any time. So maybe that's midnight. Maybe you're a night owl. We don't want to just wait for one day and then send an email or a push notification, would be even worse, in the middle of the night. Instead, we want to make sure that it extends to 9 a.m. And we can even use a recipient's local time zone to make it even more personalized down to that individual user. Then we're going to check really quickly to see, did they click on the above email or push, and do they still have items in their cart? If they do, then we're going to send them that reminder, that maybe even more urgency attached to it, to say, hey, you still have items in your cart. Let's make sure that you check out. Or if they have they haven't clicked on the email, or if they still have items in their cart, we can send an SMS to get even more active of, hey, now we're taking it to a person's SMS, to their message center, to make sure that they see that message, that we're going to offer perhaps a discount to encourage them to check out. Finally, this is a super common use case that we hear all the time, which is re-engagement. What do I do if I need to re-engage users? Now, this may be we're just wanting to re-engage users because they haven't clicked on emails or responded to the push notifications that we're sending them. But in the case of Iterable, we're looking at, they haven't registered for a training or signed up for a live class for a while. So we're going to create a scheduled list here, in this case, looking against the custom events that you're sending into Iterable to see, I want to find anyone who is not registered for a training in the last 30 days. And we're going to send them both, in this case, an SMS and an email. Important to remember that Iterable's automatically taking into account subscriptions and preferences across a journey. So even if they're not signed up for SMS, it's okay to put it in here, because they'll just move right through the tile and onto the email if they're not subscribed to SMS. And then, like I mentioned, this is all about the real-time information that's pulling into the journey. We're checking and using a hold and tell tile. What this feature does is it pauses until an event happened. So in this case, we're looking for training registered. So have they signed up for that next class? That's the purpose of this journey. If they have, we send them an SMS that's congratulating them. Hey, you signed up for your next training session. To recover, here's 20% off at our cafe for a protein smoothie after your workout. It's that surprise and delight moment, even accounting for the fact that they did the thing that we want, but we want to go one step further. If they haven't, we want to, again, re-engage them with even more urgency across email and SMS. So those were 4 use cases that we walked through here. We had our onboarding moment, our celebration moment, our engagement moment, and our re-engagement moment. Iterable's goal is to help your team engage in moments-based marketing. Again, ditching the old linear model where everyone gets the same experience, but instead using the context and the information and the new information that you get about these users inside of the journey to make their experience more personalized and make them feel like they are your only customer. A couple of best practices that I would share is start simple. Don't try to automate everything at once. Focus on those 1 to 2 really high value triggers, whether that's account sign up or whether that's something like an abandoned cart or an abandoned browse. Another thing, use exit rules, avoid over messaging. You don't need to send messages if the user has already done the thing that you're driving toward. Another thing that we didn't get to much here, but I can show right now, is we want to make sure that we're testing and measuring. That might look like adding in an A/B split, and on one side of it, putting in 2 emails here. We'll just configure these here. And on one side, we have 1 email. Let's test what it looks like to have 2 versus 1. What is more performant for achieving the outcome that we want our customers to drive toward? Similarly, if you just have a simple subject line experiment, you can actually come in and enable that. Sorry, wrong screen here. You can actually enable that directly inside of your journey. So let's take a look actually at SMS here. We can do this with SMS. We can easily create an SMS experiment inside of our journey that adds a variant to say, hey, we want to use a different message. And we can even use built-in tools like Iterable's Copy Assist to see how this woohoo message performs against a message that perhaps has an emoji and is a little bit more celebratory. So two different ways to be testing inside of Iterable's journey. And finally, what I would note is we want to be building with a mindset of moments, not messages. So to recap, journeys are about turning touch points into moments. Iterable makes it approachable and easy with a visual builder that enables real-time triggers without setting up a whole host of configuration inside of the platform, and it's multi-channel. So what I encourage everyone on this call to do is try mapping out a journey this week. Think of one customer moment that you'd love to automate, and what's the data that you need? What are those personalization details that make the communication worth it? Thanks so much for taking a look around our Journey Studio, and I would love to bring Jeanette back up and maybe take any questions.
Hey, Peter, that was amazing. Journeys are definitely my happy place, and watching you just kind of calmly walk through everything was just exactly what I needed this morning. So we do have a couple of questions. One of them I'm going to hit you with first, I think is a fun one. How real time are these triggers? If someone signs up for an account, are they getting that welcome email in seconds? Is that like, what kind of delay are they experiencing? What can you tell me about that?
It's a great question. So I do have, let's use this as an example. The welcome journey is a great example. So you can see that we already have one user in here, and you can see that's Peter Oleson plus product tour here. Let me actually, I can make a quick API call here on your end for the folks on the call. Like this is all going to be automated via your eventing systems or via your CDP. But I'll show you. I just sent in an API call for this account created event. You can see that we have one person in the tile. If I refresh here, you can see that there are now two. So that's really how real time it is. In just a couple of seconds of me talking, I clicked a button, I sent a new person in. It's really that real time. And the same goes for all other aspects of the platform, like those hold until tiles, our exit rules. It's all based upon the real-time eventing capabilities that you know and love from Iterable.
Yeah, it's something that I appreciate pretty much every day, and sort of even just forget about because it's just there. So another question, and I really like this one. How does Iterable handle unsubscribes or customer preferences across different channels? If a user opts out of email mid-journey, will the system automatically stop the email steps but continue the SMS ones?
Yeah, it's a great question. I touched on it briefly, but it's worth repeating that across journeys, whether it's inside of channel optimization or like the journey that we're looking at here, preferences, unsubscribes, they're automatically accounted for. So you have peace of mind there. So if I came in and I unsubscribed from email at this step, I would not be eligible to receive this email down here. But importantly, if you have steps after that, whether it's push notifications or SMS, they flow right through this tile. The end user doesn't know that anything happened there, but you're still able to activate against the channels that they are still subscribed to. So it's a great question. We handle unsubscribes in real time. There's a theme there, just like we do everything else, which is the moment that Iterable knows that there's been that unsubscribe event, we're automatically accounting for it inside of the journey without any additional setup or work for the marketing team.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Peter, and thank you all for the questions and for spending time with us this morning. So hopefully you've all gotten something helpful out of it and gotten your first taste of Iterable. If you want to continue enjoying this series, please subscribe to YouTube, follow us on LinkedIn, or keep an eye out for our emails. If you have any questions for our team, you can connect with us at iterable.com/demo. And hot tip, you can also dig deeper into some of the things that Peter covered today by checking out our Iterable Academy. So to answer the unofficial question that gets asked at every webinar, we will be posting these recordings later. But otherwise, we will see you next month for our next live Iterable product tour. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.